Hey, I'm Jamie McNeese. I am a bladder cancer survivor, and I've had an Indiana pouch for the last 8 years. And I want to answer the question for you, what is life like after bladder cancer and having something like an Indiana pouch, which is a continent urinary reservoir? And that was my big question when I was diagnosed and having to make decisions for what kind of surgery I was going to have. So I'm going to give you the short answer. Life is, oh my God, so amazing. Um, every day I'm just so amazed at what the surgeons did and accomplished and what they rebuilt and how well the process works and how truly flexible my life and my lifestyle is. I have traveled all over the world. I'm very active in my community. I'm very healthy. I've only had one UTI in the last 8 years. It's an amazing life. Is it easy? No, it isn't. It just takes a little extra work. And if I'm very fortunate, I work from home, so it's really easy for me to catheterize and have a regular routine. But that doesn't keep me from going places and doing things. I've traveled everywhere, and I have catheterized all over the world, and on planes and on trains, and I just keep going. When I am traveling, when I do leave the house, to reduce the anxiety, I do create a plan before I'm going to leave the house. If I'm going to, for instance, a day-long conference, I'm going to be sure that I bring enough product with me, possibly to catheterize 3 times. I will actually, and maybe this is overkill, but again, it's all about making me feel more comfortable. For instance, we attended a meeting at the San Diego Conference Center. And so I looked at the kind of a map of the conference center. I looked at, where our day-long meeting was going to be, and I looked at where the restrooms were. And then when I arrived there, I also tried to get a feel for how active the other parts of the conference center were going to be. So I decided that when it was time for me to drain, I actually went and found the furthest restroom where I knew that it would be relatively empty, and it would have had very little traffic that day, so it would probably be a little bit cleaner. So I plan. When I'm traveling, before I get on the plane, I'm going to catheterize. Even if I catheterize just an hour and a half earlier, I'm going to catheterize before I get on the plane, so that hopefully I can wait until the next destination before I need to catheterize again and skip having to use that teeny tiny little bathroom on the plane. So I just want to share with you, yes, at least for me, there is some level of anxiety or anxiousness or nervousness whenever I leave the comfort zone of my sweet little bathroom in my house and have to handle this process when I go someplace else. But honestly, there isn't any reason that you can't keep going and doing everything that you used to do. It cracked me up when my surgeon released me from his care. He said, "You can do anything you want. You can run a marathon, you can exercise, you can lift weights." And I thought it was so funny that those were the things that he used as an example of I could do anything, because I'd never do any of those things. But his point was, we have no limitations. After this surgery, with this amazing process of ours, there are no limitations. But if you feel anxious, I feel it with you. I know the feeling. But just plan ahead and think like a chessboard. Think 3 moves ahead before you leave the house in order to go be sure and take care of your wonderful, amazing Indiana pouch, and feel comfortable wherever you go.